Sometimes creative people suffer from writer's or artist's block. In this timeless pick-a-card reading, I ask the cards, why am I blocked or stuck creatively, and what can I do so it all flows again? So, let's find out. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Granny B. If you're new here, then a special welcome to you. Please give the video a like, comment down below with any questions you have, and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when I post new pick-a-card readings like this one to the channel. Today's pick-a-card reading was inspired by my beautiful creative daughter, who wanted a way to know how best to get out of writer's or artist's block. It's a timeless reading, so will be relevant whenever you're drawn to watch, and you may be drawn to different piles of cards at different times. Most of the decks I'm using today are listed with affiliate links in the description box below. I am an Amazon associate, and I may get compensated if you purchase an item through one of those links. Remember that this is a general reading, so there may be some messages that are for you and some that are for others watching. Take what you can relate to and leave the rest. Now, we've got 3 piles of cards here. We have group 1 with the little mouse. We have group 2 with the hare. And we have group 3 with the little wooden turtle. Okay, so pick the pile that you're most drawn to right now, and then go down to the timestamps that are in the description box and in a pinned comment, and click on the timestamp next to that pile to get taken to the reading. Group 1, hello, welcome to your reading. Remember, as I say, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. We're starting here with your fairy tarot to see the energy around you. And I asked this deck, where am I stuck? Seven of Winter. The card says, there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Going deeper into the meaning here, I'm hearing, I want to be alone, stealing away to work on something in peace, trying to get your head round a really good idea, but not having the personal space to do it. The Seven of Swords is also traditionally the card of the artist's curse and imposter syndrome, not believing that you are good enough or that you deserve the accolades you get, being your own worst critic. Prince of Spring. Immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. This is the Wands, the Prince of Wands. If this is you, then you're all action. You don't want to wait or plan. You want to get right into it, get into the flow of the story and have it write you. Slap paint on the canvas and see what happens. Write first and plan in the editing stage. If this is your knight in shining armor, they may be what's distracting you. He's riding a rabbit here for a reason as the Prince of Spring. Thing is, he really does always want to be doing something, and he can't just sit quietly and be your muse. You're going to need to find some balance here. One thing creatives need is uninterrupted creativity time. Queen of Winter. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. unmarried or divorced individuals. This is the Queen of Swords, traditionally. Seriously, the card is saying focus on your career, and in this case that means focus on your creative efforts. I'm saying in balance with focusing on your relationships. I'm not saying that you should send your significant other and the whole family packing and use that glorious peace and quiet to create, although secretly sometimes you probably wish that you could do just that. I mean that you have little enough time when you can create from flow, and that whenever you're interrupted it takes hours of faffing to get back to that flow point and get the train of thought back on the rails and chugging forward again. This is the happy introvert. Yes, we do exist, and we need alone time. Let things that eat into that time drop away, set some boundaries, learn to say no. Three of Autumn, Pentacles. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. Traditionally, this means creating in collaboration with others too. That can be as simple as making sure you can split the mundane tasks and get your downtime. In this deck, it also means that you have talents and abilities that you haven't discovered yet. The deck guidebook says to follow your passion, but passion can be painful, hard labour. I prefer to say that we should flow to our joy. Nothing better than being in that sweet spot where the art paints itself through us and the story appears as if channeled. That's the artist's high, and it's totally natural. The flow state is a lovely place to be creating from. This card is also saying that your art, your craft, your writing, your acting, whatever it is that you do, that it is good, and that it will flow abundance in if you go with that flow. Ego. In the traditional tarot, this is the devil. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. I can't fault the meaning of the card here at all. This pretty much sums up the whole writer's block thing for me. Deadlines looming, trapped looking at a blank screen or a blank canvas and no flow, doom, gloom, 3 a.m. doubts, deleting your first draft unread because you know it's the worst drivel ever committed to a hard drive, binning the work in progress that's in the ugly stage and the easel it's on in a fit of artist's cursed temper. Which part of that is the cause? You are. You're not giving yourself the loving space you need to get through the creative stages. Every story ever written got lost in the muddle of the middle. All paintings go through many ugly stages. They aren't horrible, they are just not finished. Stop expecting everything to be perfect as soon as you look at it. Flowing it out is half the fun, more than that, 99% of the fun. Princess of Summer, Cups. A new relationship or emotional experience. Invitations to social events. A compassionate friend who you can share your concerns with. Traditionally, the Page of Cups is all about creative ideas as well. I think this is you in a new relationship with yourself and your creativity. If it's someone coming in or someone around you, for heaven's sake, listen to them. A compassionate friend that will act as a sounding board for creative stuff, lets you brainstorm plots or art techniques. That's someone to hold on tight to. Oh, okay, universe, thanks for that. You may also get inspiration from your dreams. Can we make the thwacks with a frying pan of enlightenment a little gentler, please? Thank you so much. On to your Rider-Waite's now, and I asked for clarification of the Fairy Tarot. Clarifying the first two cards, we've got the Four of Wands. Is it possible to be too happy to create? I suppose it is if you believe that you've got to be a tortured soul to produce good art. That isn't true, by the way, and happy art can be as deep as the stuff that comes from the depths of despair. This also indicates a pause and a time out for contemplation, a celebration of a success, maybe in a different area of life. Perhaps there are things that are going really well in your creative side that you're not counting as real art because it isn't the one thing that you want to get right that won't flow. Maybe concentrate on the things that are happy and flowing for a while and let the things that are difficult rest. Okay, so over the Queen of Winter we've got the Three of Wands. The three is the last look back before the journey proper in the hero's journey. Lots of ways to broaden your horizons right now. And for any sort of creative endeavour, a broadening of horizons is a really good idea. It can jolt the creative juices into flowing. I say do the things and keep a journal. Write, take photographs, especially if you're travelling. You may be able to do the creative things while travelling, but I think the advice here is soak it all up. Write impressions and ideas down, take lots of photos, and use the material when you get back. Over the Three of Autumn, we've got the Moon in reverse. Things aren't clear, and that's fine. It's okay not to be able to see creative projects and ideas clearly. Again, listen to your dreams. You may have been dealing with illusions, negative feelings and emotions that simply aren't real. Your own personal haunted house in your head. Again, imposter syndrome, artist's cursed. The liberation promised by the Moon in reverse is the ability to work through these shadows and see that they aren't real. You can stand like the girl in the labyrinth and tell all of it that it has no power over you. All of the fears are like bubbles. Point at them and they burst. It is so freeing to be able to look at our own art and writing through fresh eyes. You know what? That's not bad. And if a friend of mine had produced it, then I would be praising it to the moon and back. Stamp on your inner critic, sack 'em, boot 'em out. Okay, so over ego and the princess of summer we have the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, we get it. We're not seeing clearly, and it's mostly ourselves we have to thank for it. Shut up and listen, calling it as I hear it. I mean, really stop the constant negative self-talk. Go inwards and listen to your heart's voice. What is right for you? What is your writing voice? Where is that the strongest? Not the stuff you do that you think is commercially viable, or deliberately not so, you know, just to be awkward. But the stuff you do that sounds like you, the real you. The little touch of poetry on the page. Which art pieces did you do that flowed, that made your soul sing as you rendered them? Which of them make you catch your breath and think, holy whizballs, I did that. That is an awesome piece of art. Those. Do more of those. Don't force it. Just do the art that make your soul sing. Paint the word pictures that make your fingers fly over the keyboard and bring a tear of pure joy to your eye and a big old lump in your throat when you read them back. Write that. Much more of that. Into the wild wood now, and I asked, how can I begin to move forward? The Great Bear. I love this take on judgment. The Great Bear is the guardian of the forest ways with the power of life and death over those who transgressed. I'm not saying that you've sinned and need to repent. Far from it. I'm saying that us creative types fear the stripping bare of the soul that we often have to do in order to create the best art. But it is in the process of stripping ourselves and opening ourselves up so that we can produce that art or writing that we grow. We're reborn through it into that beautiful, peaceful stillness that this card talks about. Art as catharsis, art as shadow work, even if that art is never shared. That gives us the peace and wholeness that we can then create from on a new level, opening up our potential. The one assurance in life is that things will change. How you react to the change is the only control that you have. Right now, you need to stop judging yourself and others. Your creations are yours. Their creations are theirs. Stop using any sort of measure, tally, scorekeeping. There's only one important thing for you to do. Create more of what you do. Create from integrity. Create honestly. Create with forgiveness of perceived mistakes. Create with infinite patience for yourself. Be certain that things will change. The more you do what you do, the better you will get at doing it. The moon on the water. This time we have the moon upright. Look at all that creative potential right there waiting to be tapped. The guidebook speaks of the primal egg swimming in the waters of consciousness. That's what the go inwards and listen and the messages in dreams was all about. If you're writing romance or erotica with a twist, or painting fantasy portraits, it's that energy here, but that's not all for all of you. You may not be able to see a path through or a clear way to finish all that amazing stuff in your head, but that's really and truly okay. The important thing is that by going inwards and listening, stripping away the false fears and doubts, you can actually see the potential, and the potential is awesome. It may be something seemingly completely random that triggers all of that potential to pour out onto the page or canvas. But the quiet voice that has been drowned out can at last be heard, and that quiet heart voice, soul voice, got an awful lot to contribute. The Green Woman. The last two cards here signify midwinter, us in the depths of the block. The Green Woman here is the midsummer, where fire energy is in the ascendant and everything is flowing at the peak. Here then is our creative flow set free. She could be the muse, but I think she's representing our own divine feminine creative force with the cauldron here. Nurturing our creations, protecting them from self-sabotage, which is what we were doing, let's face it clearly. The card is also suggesting that we pass on what we know, be a mentor and flow out the fundamentals, because by teaching it, we learn it even more clearly. Take the things that you do best and break them down into teachable chunks. You'll gain valuable insights while doing this, and it will be a break from the actual creation that allows you to create more when you go back to it. Two of bows again. This is fire energy. I feel as if I've just been thunked with that frying pan again though. This card is titled Decision, and it is saying just that. Being stuck is a choice. Simply one reaction to circumstances. Thanks for that, universe. The card refers to potential energy, just like the moon there. But this time the emphasis is on directing and channeling that energy towards a goal. You can't hit a target if you don't pick up the bow, knock an arrow and let fly. This is that journey of 1,000 steps beginning with the first. If you're staring at a blank screen, then free write everything that's in your head right now. You can delete it later. You might find that you flow into the story by writing out how and why you can't flow into the story. If you're looking at a blank white canvas, cover it in a colour or black, slather some paint on it. I don't care if you do have pencil marks on there, you can redo them. Or if you really don't want to risk the big masterpiece, take out a practice canvas and just rough paint and hone a detail from the picture that you're stuck on. If you're stuck, go big here and do something, anything. Just take action. Try new processes. Go back to old ones that used to work. You know you can do these things. You have done them. Okay, so I asked the good tarot to give advice from our higher selves. Eight of Water. Hearing clearly that we've been spoilt for choice here and that maybe we need to leave something behind that is neither suiting us nor serving us. A pet project that really does need to be left to die, or a way of doing things that really isn't working for us anymore. In this energy we can choose the path that is right for us creatively, and that way we can allow our ship to come in with all that abundance. Leave behind the last bits of illusion, self-deception, and the inner critic, and stop holding on to things and projects and ways of doing things that simply don't work for you. It's all down to you. You do you, boo, and love it. You'll create brilliantly. The Magician. Dear God, you have to know I'm right here. This is the creative energy. This is you manifesting all of that good stuff by letting it flow through you onto the page. We are master manifestors. We are actually creating things from nothing into reality. It is what we do. We drink and we make things. It is the clearest and most pure form of manifestation there is. Art, craft, writing, acting. We see it, we create it. Can I put it any more clearly than that? If there is a pure form of total manifestation, us artists and writers are trapped direct into the source. That's the key here, though. Being tapped into the source. Will and skill take us so far, but tapping in and turning on and flowing it is where we manifest it. Co-creating with the universe, that's flow. The Tower. Creativity can be a messy process. You may have to chuck the whole thing out and start again several times if it's all going wrong. None of that effort has been wasted, though. You have discovered many, many ways not to do the thing you're trying to do. I'm thinking about destructive editing here, both in art and in writing. In digital art, there is nothing you can do that can't be undone if you save as a separate file before you blow the whole thing up. The same with writing. You can print the whole thing out and channel the ghost of Severus Snape and bleed red ink all over it. In this deck, it is a paradigm shift, an aha moment, or a sudden epiphany, unexpected events, even getting new plot twists, unexpected events occurring that will be interesting and offer opportunities for positive transformation. Five of Water. Saying the same thing in a different way seems to be a key theme of this reading. In this deck, this talks about releasing old griefs. There's an affirmation in the guidebook about deserving the freedom that comes from releasing what no longer serves me. There's also a bit about making amends to people that may have been harmed when the emotions were running high, and I'm getting vivid reminders of a scene in that awesome film about the writing of A Christmas Carol. Oh yes, go watch that one. The Man Who Invented Christmas. Surrendering resentments to the universe. Is this a little bit about feeling as if you've missed opportunities? No, you haven't. No opportunity is missed. What's for you will not go by you. You've missed nothing. Let that shiz go. I asked the Osho to clarify where our heads are actually at. Beyond illusion, well, yes. From the two moons to the High Priestess reverse, we're getting to that point here, I think. We aren't looking out and blaming outer circumstances anymore. We're now looking in and tapping into the source to create. Much better headspace to be in. Here is another clear warning not to get caught up in judgments again. My writing, my art, is not better than yours. It is simply different from the art or writing that you create, both equally valuable. Going in deeper, reality allows for doubt. Creativity, the dream, the inner world contains no doubt. Self-doubt is the illusion. The source. All through the reading I've been saying that we should tap into the source and co-create to flow our creations out. This is what we are tuning into to flow the creativity out into manifestation. There is a school of thought, Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, that we can't contain all our knowledge inside us, that the neurons in our brain and in our heart have what they call soft antennae that allow us to tune into the field, to the source, to Akasha, whatever you want to term it. It's that source that we channel through us to create. What was I saying about that heart voice? If you can drop into heart coherence, you'll find it easier to flow that creativity. Possibilities, 2 of Wands. It's the second time it's appeared. What are the infinite possibilities around you now? Because you have grown more loving towards yourself, more accepting of who you are and where your talents lie, more generous with self-praise, less judgmental, silence the inner critic. And you have, haven't you? Now you see the big picture. Now you can begin to flow. Now you can tap into the source and flow the creativity out. Barriers have dropped because they were self-imposed limits. The barriers, the blocks, they were the illusion. Infinite possibilities, infinite potential. Consciousness, and here we are with another ace, swords this time. This is all about being the master of the mind, going beyond the standard mental state. It is about flow, and I know I keep banging on about that. I have to say what I see though, that's my contract with Source. You can get this clarity of thought, this razor sharp focus in flow that blocks the world out. I can do this when reading. So involved in the story that you have to touch me to get my attention. I can do it to that extent when writing too, and to a lesser extent when painting. The no mind spoken of in this card is being tapped into the field beyond the confines of the ego mind. Again, soft antenna, tuned in, flowing through. That's the end of all the self-imposed blocks. Right, I asked the energy oracle cards for an overview of why we're stuck. Attachment, a need to let go. This is a very similar message to the ego card back in the fairy tarot. Where is it, that one? The chains that bind here are of our own making. We created them by forming an attachment to a habit, a way of doing things, other people's opinions, our own judgments. Time to take action, break the chains and move forward. Your choice though, always your choice. Financial constraints, well that makes sense. I'm surprised we've not seen that in the other cards. Is it a case of not being able to afford the basic equipment to make the art that you want to make? Well, do the best you can with what you have. It isn't always necessary to go off on 20 tangents and buy the complete kit for 3 new media at once. There are perfectly good word processing programs that are free to use. Set up a Gmail account and use Google Docs at a pinch. Buy a cheap plug-in keyboard for your phone and use that. Work with pencil, paper and eraser. Buy a cheap child's set of watercolour paint and practice with that. If you can get bad materials to look good, then imagine what you'll be able to do when you have the best you can buy. The best purchase I ever made for art was a little travel watercolour set with studio quality paints. A Cotman watercolour pocket pots. It's £11 on Amazon right now. It has a brush in it. It's enough. 10 sheets of cold pressed paper for £7 and you're good to go. Money isn't a barrier unless you think there is only one way you can do what you want to do. Okay, so I asked the angels of abundance to give us the closest way they can for breaking the block. Face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Okay, group 1. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up and comment below. While you're here, subscribe to the channel by clicking on that little icon in the corner there, and turn on the notifications so that you'll get a message whenever I upload a new big card reading like this one. I am sending you so much love and blessings. Until next time now, Group 1. Bye. Group 2. Hello, welcome to your reading. Remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Okay, excuse me. Starting with your fairy tarot here to see the energy around you. And I ask, where am I stuck? 10 of Summer, usually such a positive card. Here it's warning you that you must, your choice, don't give me your power. Spend time with your family and loved ones. Making space for them is incredibly important. The love and support that they offer you is vital to you, whether or not you resent the drain on your time and resources that they represent. Doing this with a full, happy heart and letting go of any resentment would serve you best. The card says, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. The Emperor. Card says, use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized, a firm but compassionate leader. Get yourself organized. Structure your time. Put routines in place. Do not faff with other things in your creative time, and don't tell yourself that you can't be creative on schedule. It is perfectly possible. The other message here is not to pants right, that you would benefit from outlining and planning, and that this doesn't stifle creativity either. Similarly, planning an art piece, looking at references, sketching it out, and really knowing where you're going will produce much more consistent results. Be your own wise leader, flow from the earth energy, grounded and centered. Yeah, you need the flow, the joy and the enthusiasm, but you need the practicality too, practical skills as well. Release. Let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. Apart from what it says on the card, the guidebook adds that there may be things from the past that are holding you back, lessons that need to be learned and moved on from. If you are attached to something from your personal history that's blocking you from making progress, then it is time to move on. That could be holding on to other people's opinion of your abilities. My art teacher told me I had 2 left thumbs and no talent, but I sold 12 prints of a picture in the last week. If I had let that opinion shape me, I'd have never picked up a paintbrush again. Queen of Autumn. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Yeah, you really can make anything more beautiful. You have that ability. In the guidebook here, they have her saying form and function, both as equally important. Again, we're flowing practical energy here, pragmatic, planning. It is Pentacles, and the promise is a firm foundation and financial freedom, either from your creative flow or from the day job, with the creative flow giving you the warm satisfaction as a cherry on top of your chocolate truffles with gold sprinkles. Her form of creativity is in design, clothes, decor, furniture, practical things made beautiful. There is fabulous in this energy. This fairy godmother could be a queen in every sense of the word. I adore this energy. If she is coming in to help you, then oh boy, you're in for some fun times. But I think this is your own energy flowing beautifully, fabulously here when you find your feet. 9 of Summer, the Wish card. Wishes come true, desires fulfilled, a magical time of life. Seriously, are you actually blocked at all? This energy is magical, beautiful. You get a wish granted now, and I'm not kidding. Allow life to be fabulous. Don't look for the fly in the ointment or wait for the other shoe to drop. Really enjoy this. Enjoy the simple pleasures of creating the way you create best. And don't try and force yourself to create as other people expect you to. Picture what it is that you truly, really desire and let that go. The Fae are on your side. Trust me, that's a really rare thing indeed. The Chariot. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. This is being rewarded for work you've put in. Do you feel as if you're not being recognized? You will, if you do the things that you're best at. If you have fun and play with your art and create in that bubbly, happily, childlike energy that I feel so strongly from this group, if you knuckle down and try to do things by other people's standards, then all of the joy will go out of it and you'll flop. The warning with the card is that you should stay focused and keep doing your thing and maybe multitask and juggle a bit for deadline or performance. You have put the work in. The card says that you have. And now it is your time to shine. Step into the spotlight. Take the glory. Take the bow. Take the encore, whether you feel ready or not. Okay, so I asked the Rider-Waite to clarify the Fairy Tarot. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and she's covering these two cards. She's all about creating financial independence, material stability, firm foundations. You could be starting your own business from the creative side, and that might be putting constraints on how you express yourself. If you're asking if things that you are doing are commercially viable, rather than flowing from the fun of things as you were when you were not relying on creativity for your living. Going back to the Ten of Summer, it could be about work-life balance too. Although I can see clearly that you are looking after yourself well, food, care, concern. It could be a little more time outside in nature would be good. Justice. Balance, and this is going over release. Acting in integrity, choosing to work for the highest good of all, having that as a major driving force behind all you do creatively. Ethics, Libra energy. There's also the echo of a choice here that you need to draw on your intuition to make. Releasing the past or holding on to it. Doing things your way or the way other people say it ought to be done. Either way, don't should all over yourself. Trust your intuition and be in your integrity. It is who you really are. Shine it out. The Fool. Are you mistrusting these opportunities around you and feeling as if you're being led up the garden path? It's a particularly appealing garden path too. This card says that you're not, that it's safe to take the leap of faith. Don't give me your power, it's your choice, the cards can't tell you what to do. There is opportunity and huge potential all around you here. If you have your Emperor plans made and you aren't pantsing, then you can just go for it. You have a safety net after all from all of this positive energy. If what you need to release is holding you back, then really it's hurting you a lot. Do you not have the right to be happy, whatever is in your past? You have made amends for anything that you did that was harmful. And you do have your grown-up pants on. Is it playtime now? Knight of Wands in the reverse. And yet you still hesitate. It's a personal passion project, and why other people might see that as a good thing, to me the word passion rings warming bells. I'd rather not get involved in anything passionate. It can mean a lot of pain. I'd rather flow a joy project, but you know, I know I'm hair splitting here. It could also be that you know exactly what you want to do and you watch the universe line almost everything up so that you can. But there's one last thing that has to drop in just right, and it ain't dropping. So you're at the starting line, champing at the bit, and it's ready, steady, wait. Don't act on impulse, fool be damned. When you know the time is right, you'll be able to take that leap and charge forward. Into the wildwood now, when I asked, how can I begin to move forward? The woodward, you have the strength. I'm really not sure from all of this why you'd need that strength, but that's what the card's telling me. This is the inner strength you only get from facing fear and understanding the nature of darkness. The calm heart in the face of hate and rage. This card says, I am not a victim. Do not mistake my passivity for weakness. This is the card of choosing not to fight against something because you know that only gives it power. Having come through a process that let you completely balance yourself, you really do have the strength. Ace of Vessels. The woodward sits with the full moon, where bows become vessels, where their creative urge meets the emotional depths. The waters of life here are the deep, divine, feminine, creative, nurturing energies. The water is also the field, the akasha, the point from which all information flows out and the point to which it returns. If it is representing emotional depths, then remember we're either in love or in fear. That's it. Choose love. Flow compassion. The forest lovers. Here, bows and wands are balanced with arrows and swords. This could be a relationship coming in. A true partnership, balancing the energies of two souls. It could be a choice, a higher self-directed choice. To love we must be truly whole. If it isn't a relationship, then it is self-love, self-acceptance, allowing ourselves to be who and what we are without judgment. Four of Stones, protection. I always think of the Song of Ammon when I see this card. Who but I know the secrets of the unhewn dolmen? Here this is about finding a place of emotional safety, our own inner safe space that we can carry with us, so that we are safe and protected. Building on a foundation of integrity, ethically sound beliefs and basic good practice, it stands us in good stead. We know what to do to keep ourselves in the light. We know which battles are worth the fight and which we should let go. Being a champion for a cause is all well and good, but if the cause is a passion project that is draining our resources, then it's tilting at windmills and a waste of our good effort. Maybe that's what needs to be released, and this is the one thing that will allow us to move forward. You know that fighting against anything is futile. It just feeds the thing we're fighting. Fight for the opposite, and that way you're giving power in the right way. Not anti-war, pro-peace. Not anti-capitalism, pro-ethical commerce. I asked the good tarot to give some advice from our higher selves. Three of Air. If it is truly yours, whatever it is, or whoever it is, then there is no power in the universe that can keep it from you. Let go and allow something better to flow in to fill any gap. If you are feeling discomfort, this too will pass. It is the card of the broken heart, yearning, longing for something to not be as it is. There is a silver lining in this particular cloud, and you really don't have that many clouds. Six of Fire, a victory, a success, being an influencer. The guidebook says an enlightened influencer, and I say those are rare things. Spotlight on you. Again, step in, take your glory, then get back in your balloon. That's better when it's the traditional image and I can say get back on your horse and keep going. This is shining a light for others to follow in all of your fabulous energy. Fortune's wheel, and you have luck turning your way right now too. Wish card, 6 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Lovely energy. Synchronicity that's drunk on energy drink for some zip and wings. The sorts of meaningful coincidences that leave you with your jaw dropped for how beautifully everything just ticks into place like a little steampunk gizmo. You know exactly what the universe is telling you is the right move for that leap of faith. Three of Water, celebrate. Yeah, I'm seeing a windfall that lets you move forward. The universe really wants you to do the creative thing that you want to do. There's a feeling of working for a common goal too. Perhaps this partnership, this member of your soul tribe that's coming in. There may be more of your soul tribe appearing, more camaraderie, more sense of personal security and joy to flow from. I asked the Osho to clarify where our heads are actually at. Guilt. There's something else high on the list of things to release. It really is useless. Apologise, even if it's only to thin air around you, and let that shiz go. Forgive yourself too. Holding on to this energy is inviting self-doubt and worthlessness to the party. Guilt can blind us to all of the good things around us. It sits heavy on the shoulders, weighing us down, and of course it generates lots of unwanted thoughts from the inner voice. You probably have blown it up out of all proportion too. You are a nice person. I can feel this energy, and you have done nothing that warrants this sort of self-flagellation. To err is human, to forgive divine. You're human. You mucked up. Sorry, let go, move on. Seriously. Let it go. Fighting. Again, the message is to forgive yourself. Yes, you have been hurt, and yes, you have hurt others, but putting on armour and keeping everyone away isn't allowing you to forgive, heal and forget. This also reminds me strongly of the Abraham Hicks analogy about giving up the struggle, laying down the oars, that nothing you want or need is upstream. Stop it. Stop fighting. It just gives your power to whatever it is you're fighting against. Courage. You can do it. You are the little flower that could. Okay, so past you was a bit of an idiot, and as a result you've been through a lot. You have put your roots down, and you are flowering away in this lovely present energy. I mean lovely energy in your present moment. Are you missing out on what you're going for because your head is stuck back there when you were an idiot? Because you ain't that now. You really aren't. This card says that you've learned from all of that you have grown and bloomed, and that the creative energy that you have now, and the ability and the talent is awesome, and that you really should share it with the world. Please share it so that I can enjoy it too, so that other people can enjoy it too. Your block seems to be not feeling as if you deserve the chance to shine, and you do, you so do. Healing. Yes, that's where your head is at. Let go of the guilt, heal from the past, relax into the solid reality of your soul tribe and someone special and all this beautiful, bountiful energy around you. This is a time when old wounds are surfacing because it is safe to let them do so. They are surfacing so that they can be healed. This energy is deeply nurturing and caring. In this deck, he is leaning into the field of love and support that's all around him, if he'll let it in and allow it to manifest for him. And that way he can get the deep healing that he needs in order to flow that lovely, nurturing, creative, divine, masculine energy that he has to give. You wrapped yourself in armour to stop people pressing on the sore spot because you were too hurt and too guilty to let it out into the open to heal it. all that guilt, all that struggle, all that shame. Time to let it go. I asked the energy oracle cards for an overview of why we're stuck. Woman holding a heart that looks a little surfacey and inconsequential, but look, 44. We're not talking fairground fortune telling here, oh no. This is you reflecting and actually coming to terms with that weight of emotion that you've been lugging around with you. The heaviness of the armor, the fear of it all coming out. This release is a major one, and it will allow you to move forward creatively. I keep hearing wearing your heart on your sleeve too, that you were looking for love in all the wrong places and not understanding why it wasn't working out for you. But you know, self-love first. With all that guilt closing you down, you really didn't feel lovable. There will be upsides to letting it go in every area of your life. There could also be divine feminine energy, male or female, but flow in that, who you can confide in. That's a good plan. Again, with the soul tribe and the possibility of a new partner coming in too. Seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. Here we go. That's you, tapping into the source, tapping into the creative energy of the universe, the field, Akasha, whatever you want to call it. This is what you really want. The ability to flow the creativity so that it comes simply, not easily, I won't insult you, so that it comes simply and it flows through you. The energy of the Eight of Pentacles, where the flow of the artist at work is obvious, could be a breakthrough, could be a level up, could be a simple inspiration and fabulous ideas flowing. Overall, this energy is good. I asked the angels of abundance for the best way to break the block. Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Well, group 2, thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and let me know down in the comments if I got anything wrong. If you click on the logo here to subscribe to the channel, click the bell to turn on notifications so that you know when I post another pick a card reading like this one. And that's it for this reading. Bye now. Group 3, hello and welcome to your reading. Remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Okay, so I'm starting with your fairy tarot to see the energy around you, and I asked, where am I stuck? 8 of Summer. The desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. This is leaving something behind you that no longer serves your highest good, being in your own power and choosing whether or not this is the right decision yourself. It won't be forced on you, and you can take this as slow or as fast as you like. Creatively, it feels as if you've reached a point with a project that you can't get anything else from it. You've done all you can, you've learned all you can, and you know that there's nothing more in it for you. What's holding you back is the final step of actually dropping it, and it's your choice always. Neither I nor the cards have any right to tell you what you should do. Ace of Spring. It's time to take action. Be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Amazing career opportunities. Well, there is a golden opportunity for you, and I'm sure you can see it. It's right there. It's a promotion or a change of direction, a move up. The card does say that you should act, and I'm saying again, it's your choice. You can't get this wrong. If not this one, then the next one. I will say that all the energy here looks good, and it may just be loyalty to whatever is being left behind in that Ace of Summer that has you feeling hesitant. Seven of Summer. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, you're being called out. Still, your choice. And choosing not to choose is a valid choice. You may be overanalyzing this, thinking that the ace there is too good to be true. I am not going to tell you what to do, however adamant the cards are. This card is saying that the choice you have to make could benefit you in every area of your life. It also says that you can and should be able to get some guidance. If relevant, consult a professional, best choice, or a trusted family member or friend. Five of Summer. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. There are some hidden fears or worries here. That's why you're hesitating then. You are focusing too heavily on the worst possible outcome, when you know that's not the healthy, practical way of looking at it. Work out the worst that could happen if you must, but also take a good steady look at the best that could happen. Ask how good can it get, and really look to see if the pros outweighs all these cons. I'm betting that they do. There's a lot of simple joy and peace and quiet too, you know. You also need to distance yourselves from people who seem to have soap opera lives. Every last little niggle is a mountain to climb, and it's really tiring. You don't need to be sucked into that mentality. You create best from peace and ease and joy. Balance. Take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time, there's no need to rush. Finally, the cards tell you that you don't need to rush this, that you can take opinions and see what you really think in order to be able to move forward with this. I feel that your creative outlets are being lost in all the drama. You do simple, sweet things. I'm sure of it. Or you would if you could. Life seems to be what's blocking you. Take some time out and get your equilibrium back so you can sort out everyone's opinions from the sort of calm quiet that you need in order to be able to create anything. Strength. It's the mirror of this last card in this deck. I love this. This is do as you would be done by, the golden rule. You treat others with respect and integrity. They look up to you and respect you. You are sensitive to the point of being an empath. It's one of your strengths. But it can stop you from doing the creative things that you want to do right enough. You worry about the effect that writing things that could be seen as negative will have, even though they are necessary to the story. It's that sort of energy anyway. This card says you do have talent. You are worth people's time, energy and money. Your creativity produces things that people enjoy. Do you see that? Believe in yourself. Okay, on to your Rider-Waite that I asked to clarify the fairy tale. King of Pentacles, Earth sign, divine masculine energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Here is the master of earth energy in his full power. This could be you or someone close to you. He represents material wealth, stability, security. Is this a goal or important to you? Do you believe that you can achieve this through your creativity? Because I say that you can. Flowing your creativity in happy, heart-focused joy always allows abundance. Still, your life, your choice. I don't think it's either or, though. I think you can have both. He also says that you can transform a vision into tangible reality. He may be a financial angel come to give you the financial resources to do just that. Five of Cups reversed. Aha! A setback, a disappointment. That may be what you're walking away from in that 8 there. This is a speed bump, not a total failure, no matter how bad you think it looks. Don't think that because you mucked up with this, it means you'll always muck up. You learned, you really did. You won't make that mistake twice. You can't go back and change it. All you can do is learn from it and move on. Forgive everyone involved, including yourself. Apologize if necessary. Yeah, move on from this. Walk away from the disappointing situation. Your choice still. But holding on to it is holding you back from creating here, and that's what we're trying to sort out. Page of Swords reversed, holding back from speaking your truth. You might actually need to stand up and say your piece. I see stage fright here. I'm getting jitters thinking about a performance. There are ways of getting over that. Talk to someone. There's no shame in it. Performance anxiety doesn't require an audience either. It can be white screen terror or blank canvas fear. That inability to begin, the feeling that the world is watching when it isn't. That one's crippling. Free write it out, then delete the file. Take a scrap canvas, create messy fun. Cover the start white, don't overthink. Also plan your art, your writing, your performance. Make notes, script what you're going to say, and do, so that you don't freeze. Three of Pentacles. You can create. You can do good stuff. You may need to collaborate with others to get your juices flowing, even if it is just bouncing ideas off friends informally. You can listen to their plans and offer advice. They can do the same for you. This is a craftsman working to plan, though. So there we have it again. Outline, plan, have things written down. Know where you're going, even if it's a rough outline before your first draft. Look at reference images. No shame in that at all. Into the whirlwood now, and I asked, how can I begin to move forward? Six of Arrows, transition. You are moving forward quite naturally. It's part of the situation that you're in, that you're moving from rougher waters towards calmer. You're moving towards new possibilities, thinking in a different way. The advice here is to trust your instincts and the skills and abilities that you already possess. Change is definitely positive here. Ten of Stones, home. You have a firm foundation from which to do this. The Ten of Pentacles is the King of Pentacles castle. Here it also means the firm establishment of your soul tribe, the ones that you really can rely on. These people may not be blood relatives. Did you know that the whole saying is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb? Soul tribe is closer than blood ties. If this is a dream, goal or intention, it's more than possible. It's achievable. It might not be a physical building that contains all of your people, but it is security in that place in your group. Putting roots down, belonging. The Mirror, the Hanged Man. It's still a change of perspective here, but this one's been brought on by deeper life lessons from the past. Creatively, it means that you do strip yourself for the world to see your soul in your work. I don't mean literally. Figuratively, you're bearing bits of your soul and it makes you feel vulnerable. The best of you is put into everything you create. People who are in tune with you can feel it. Conversely, you don't create at your best when you're creating just to sell. Commercially viable takes your soul out of the work. You need the whole reflection in you in everything you create, or it doesn't work. It isn't fun. It doesn't flow. To thine own self be true. Six of Bows, abundance, the victory card. Creating from your best self, in integrity, flowing from joy, you call in the abundance. It has to be so. It can't be any other way. I said it in another reading already here. We are the master manifestors, and we are creating directly with the universe. It's the purest form of manifestation, the creation of all forms of art. We see it, we create it, it becomes reality. We really can paint castles in the air and have them be real. This is sharing your abundance with others too, shining your light so that others can follow. I ask the good tarot to give advice from our higher selves. King of Fire, spiritual influencer, being confident in your own skills and abilities without dismissing other possibilities. There are no wrong ways of creating the things you create. Other people may have insights that will help you and vice versa. This is harking back to the Three of Pentacles there. It also says that alignment with the universe, spirit, the divine is one of the most positive things you can do, because that way you're co-creating with the universe. Six of Water. You can remember the past, use it for inspiration even. Remember that it's a nice place to visit, but you really wouldn't want to live there. It is a part of who you are, the past, but none of us remember it accurately. We change the memories every time we take them out and look at them. You are not who you were then. You have grown, learned, gained wisdom. By all means use it to tell stories, create art, paint the pictures, but live in the now. Chariot. Here's some good forward momentum. You're starting to get clearer, and that's good. This card is titled Victory, so it really is like having the Six of Wands twice. You will get through this. It's pretty much a cert. You're moving through it naturally as a life cycle. Yeah, you fell flat on your face in the past, but that's the past. That was then, this is now, this is the present. They call the present a gift. Living fearlessly, fully, skillfully, that's you. Creating that way too. Seven of Waters. Infinite possibilities. Imagination, fantasy, artistic endeavours, co-creating. The guidebook even talks about castles in the air with this card. This is the artist painting from the depths of the imagination, the writer painting word pictures. This is the dancer choreographing from the soul, the actor so deep in their role they forget self. Don't be rigid, be flexible, be open to ideas and suggestions. This could be awesome. I asked the Osho Zen to clarify where our heads are actually at. The Lovers. In this deck it tells us about love on 3 levels. The desire, the love and the compassion. The highest form here is compassion. The lowest physical desire. I'm not saying that that's bad, far from it. The best relationships have all 3. I think the meaning of this card here is to look again at the meaning of the mirror card there. When we get beyond physical desire, then we can begin to see that one of the functions of close relationships is to act as a mirror to self, to show us the aspects of self that we need to integrate. And it doesn't have to be a physical relationship to do that. Greg Braden talks about mirrored aspects of self in others, from business partnerships and friends as well as relationships. What we love most in another is aspects of self that we need to love in ourselves. What we dislike too, all the things that drives us nuts, those aspects that we need to release or integrate. The Dream, 6 of Cups again. Here the card is telling us that the only person who can ever make us whole, complete us, is ourselves. Give us that security and stability in ourselves. Without that, we can't bring a whole self to a whole relationship. Love yourself first. Be secure in your abilities. Don't look for soul tribe to complete you. They will come in when you have completed yourself. You can't afford to lose yourself in another. You won't be able to create that way. It won't flow. And you have found that already. You can't change yourself to suit your partner and be tapped into the flow for your art, your craft, your writing. Ordinariness. At last, the 8 of Pentacles, the card of creating and flow. And yet in this deck it's never mentioned. Here we see the ordinary transformed into beauty by making tasks mindful, Before enlightenment, fetch water, chop wood. After enlightenment, fetch water, chop wood. But the world is beautiful, shiny, new. Seeing the beauty in the mundane is a creative gift. In fact, the card suggests that doing the ordinary, the normal, the mundane is the best thing you can do right now. Not trying to be clever, not over-egging the pudding, no gilding of lilies. Take it easy and simple, one step at a time. I think this is also about getting into flow and not efforting to do it. Just simply allowing it and enjoying it if it happens, but not stressing. In art terms, it's doing the basic shape and simple practice pieces and producing simple brilliance. In writing terms, it's free writing for the sake of filling a page and suddenly finding chapter 1 is written and you know where it's going. That's the energy, from the beginner's mind back to absolute basics. Laziness. This can be a good thing before you reject it. It is the Nine of Cups after all. You can take a time out and relax, but remember this isn't your final destination. You're not done yet. You have a lot to give yet. There's a difference between having no energy to do anything, that's a dull, dead, lifeless state, and the choice to be in not doing and just being a human being. In the state of choosing to do nothing, you have a great deal of energy, infinite potential in fact, like a cat sleeping in the sun, choosing to do nothing but on the alert. Laziness produces no ideas. Non-doing lets the mind free. I asked the energy oracle cards for an overview of why we're stuck. Action. You're on the right track, but you're going to need to put more effort in. You can't just coast, it requires focus and input. The white horse is the mental aspect, the black is the physical, and you need to harness them both to move forward in the chariot energy. Take action, trust your intuition. You will do the things and you will be able to create. Journey, physical journey, it too means movement. Location will change somehow. You are moving from rough to smooth. There's no stress or hassle here. Be clear about your motivations though. A retreat is a possibility, and I'll second that for you. Going on a workshop to listen to a spiritual teacher will be a really good idea. You do have some lovely, inspiring times in your immediate future. I asked the angels of abundance for the best way to break the block. Moonlighting. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. Okay, group 3. Thumbs up to like, subscribe by clicking on that little icon there. That's it for me for this reading. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I'm sending you all my love and blessings as always, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye now.